welcome to you. My name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction. Today I'm bringing you my August Q&A thanks to everyone who submitted questions. If you want to submit questions for next month's Q&A, all you need to do is follow me here on YouTube by hitting the subscribe button down below, and then you'll see my community posts, which I put up for about 24 hours to match my Instagram stories, and that's where I ask you for questions. If you don't follow me on Instagram, why not? On Instagram I post a lot of outfit of the day shots, so if that's something that you're interested in seeing how I style my bags, please follow me over on Instagram at DaylesAddiction. So, these questions, they're always pretty juicy. There's some that I won't be answering today just because of time, but I do appreciate the creativity, Candace in particular, for sending these questions through. So, the first question is from Food and Shoes. What's your best luxury purchase from any category ever? Wow, what a question. I only had to think about this for a couple of minutes actually, and I think it was the purchase that kind of really symbolized my freedom to go and buy what I wanted, and that is my Canturi cubism ring. Now, this ring I purchased when I had my first kind of adult freedom, I'm going to say. I wasn't in a relationship. In fact, it was the end of a relationship, and I had walked past the Canturi boutique salon like 3 days a week for the past couple of years, and every time peered longingly into the window at the cubism range. I love how modern it is. I love how androgynous the styles are, both feminine yet masculine at the same time. I loved how unique the style is with the baguette and carré cut. And back in the day when I bought this one, which was 2010, 2011, I think, baguette and carré cut diamonds had to be cut specifically for these rings because of how intricate the design is. They needed to fit perfectly to fit into this particular section, and you can get them that go, you know, all the way around, but I tried everything and this is the one that looked best on me. It opened the door to a lot of I guess barriers. Perhaps they were put in place by myself as well as perceived by other people, and that was pretty much the beginning of where we find ourselves now, where I find myself now. So yeah, definitely this ring holds a special place in my luxury collecting journey for sure. Eileen MR1234, how is it going getting the health and fitness back after COVID and the cold and flu? Slowly for a few reasons. One, time. Work has been pretty, up and down, and when I travel with work, I'm bad at making a plan for doing some exercise while I'm away because I use the excuse that I want to pack lightly and I don't want to pack my gym kit. That being said, I could do something in the hotel room, but I find that every minute of my day is dedicated to my clients, and then I'd have to wash my hair, and I'm really particular when I travel. I wash my hair before I go. At the very worst, I can add dry shampoo, but I try and make sure that I don't have to pack shampoo and conditioner for when I go, and doing a workout would probably mean that my hair would get more greasy. Don't you just love how creative my excuses are? I've been doing the Peloton a couple of times a week. I want to do more. I have been seeing an osteopath to help with some lower back and hip flexor kind of issues that I recently discovered through some medical exploration. So that's also meant that I've been pretty cautious, but yeah, I'm going to say spasmodic, just like my grade 9 PE teacher said about my physical education commitment. Birkenboy76, hi Craig, no question, just wanted to say you look more beautiful with each video. Oh, thank you so much, Craig, that's so nice. Craig's been following me from the very beginning. Yeah, that's really sweet, thank you. Lizzie C, Australian seasons are opposite to Europe's. Does that annoy you for your bag once? Look, Lizzie, it probably helps us because The Northern Hemisphere spring summer kind of gets launched around the May period, and that's the end of our spring summer, but by the time we get it here in Australia, it's probably well and truly into June. So we can buy our pieces for the following spring summer, so I actually don't mind that so much. Yeah, and oddly, when I was buying a bit of Chanel, the Chanel pieces that were released for the fall winter, I actually I actually thought that they were very trans-seasonal and that they could go into our spring summer as well, and so that was around the November time. So yeah, it doesn't bother me. Having said that, I have not worn my Fendi raffia baguette yet, but I do have an occasion that I'm wearing that too, so I'm kind of keeping it for its first inaugural outing. And I also haven't used my little plastic kind of jelly tote from Fendi either. So yeah, 2 bags. Oh, and my sunshine shopper up the top there. So yeah, 3 summer bags that I have purchased over our winter that I haven't worn yet that I'm really keen to wear. Liv 4, hey Liv, your recommendation on first bag from Fendi to buy. Liv, I think I've said it a couple of times now, but I honestly think that the Fendi mini baguette is the best bag to buy for your first Fendi bag. So this little baby here is my recommendation as your first Fendi bag for a couple of reasons. 1, the baguette is iconic. 2, you can get the baguette in the seasonal colours, but you can also get it in the Zucca, which you can see just over there. You can also get it in the Zucca, which is an uncoated kind of canvas jacquard material. This one is great because it just fits your essentials. So you're not going to be loading this bag up. So it's like the Chanel Mini Rectangular, and I actually did a comparison video between this bag and the Chanel Mini Rectangular. So this leather version actually has little card slots on the inside. Otherwise it's an open pocket, and it does fit a lot. In terms of how you carry it, it's not adjustable, so sorry for those people who are smaller framed, but it does have a great crossbody strap for my height, which is detachable, and it also has a detachable top handle as well. So you have another option on how you carry it, so that makes it really cute for like a little evening bag style, or you can take them both off and use it as a clutch. The mini baguette is a much more approachable price point, I'm going to say, than the mini peekaboo is, but it's still ultimately Fendi, and what am I trying to say? I would discourage anybody from choosing other styles of Fendi bags because they're more affordable that aren't the baguette and the peekaboo, because these are the iconic bags. And I think if you're buying something like the By the Way, which is a cute little bag, but if you're buying it just because it's cheaper, I don't think that's the right reason to buy it. So yeah, this is my recommendation. Liv also asks, what are you hoping to see from the brands in the cruise collections? Oh God. I don't even want to put it out there, Liv, because it could come true. I do know that Chanel's cruise collection does have some kind of like rattan or wicker in it, and I am keeping an eye on that. But as for the rest of the brands, like, I'm just happy to kind of put my seatbelt on and brace myself, because yeah, I really don't have any hopes, because hopes just equate to cash going out the door. So W Measure 39, collection video once you get your new Fendi pieces. Yeah, look, I only did a Fendi collection video, I think it was back in March maybe, so yeah, I might wait till next year, but it certainly has changed this year, that's for sure. Living Lux with Meredith. Hi Meredith. Meredith has a YouTube channel as well. 5 adjectives for Dale. Dynamic, adventurous, an adjective that starts with Y? Hey Siri, what are adjectives that start with Y? No, none of those. Young-ish at heart. Yes, I'm going to go with that. Loving and eclectic. They are my adjectives. Thanks, Meredith. Geraldine Vance. Hi, Geraldine. Best purchase of the year so far. Oh, wow. Thanks for this great question, Geraldine. This is hard. It's between these two. So my Fendi Peekaboo in the Violetta colour, because you guys helped me to get this one. It's super special. It's my colour. It's just a glorious, glorious bag, and I used it for the first time the other day. And, you know, early in the year when I jumped in pretty early, I hadn't seen any videos with anyone who owned this bag. It was very expensive. I just sold my Lady Dior and said I'm not buying anything else from Dior. And then I saw this and I'm so glad that I jumped on it, and I have no regrets. So I'm probably going to say this one because it was all of those adjectives that I just listed in my response to Meredith. Especially the kind of dynamic, daring, adventurous part of it, because yes, and I know a lot of people have bought this bag after having seen my video on it, and I am so glad that so many people have jumped in the deep end and spent a lot of money, because this bag just brings smiles to my face every time I use it. Okay, now we've got DMC MJ66. Thoughts on the Peekaboo Petite. I love the Peekaboo Petite. I'll put a picture up here for those of you who aren't familiar. I have tried it in the new season's colours. In fact, Fendi had the baby pink one in for me to try on when Meredith was here, because in my video I said I liked it I'd like it in a pastel colour. Still, it's less than pastel. It's very, very light pink. I tried it in the kind of mint green. And I did see on Fashion File recently that there's one in like a magenta kind of fuchsia pink, which is really lovely too. I like it. I like it a lot. It's just about finding the right colour, and at the moment I'm not in a hurry, because quite obviously, you know, there's a bit going on with me and Fendi at the moment. The Closet by Connor. Hi Connor, and Connor has a YouTube channel if you hadn't heard already. Where have you been? He said give up one Fendi bag for a new one. What are you getting? Connor, one moment. Okay, so the one that I would give up begrudgingly is this one, and I've been thinking about it for a little while. I've got two neutral mini peekaboos, and I probably don't wear them enough because they're both neutral, so then I don't wear either. But this is the most beautiful, beautiful bag. So begrudgingly I would give this one up, and I would be putting it towards the 25th anniversary baguettes that are coming. I've got a sneaky feeling that there'll be a mix of the 1997 style baguette, but also the more modern shaped baguette, based on the promotional photo. So yeah, that would be my choice, Connor. That was mean. Kaylee Carroll. Hi Kaylee. Kaylee's a great supporter of my channel, so thanks for your question. How are you handling doing two YouTube channels, and what made you decide to have bangs? They look great. Well, thank you very much. I have been quite deliberate with the Proving Potential channel that I am only going to release one video per week. It's the kind of content that isn't trending, so for the most part anyway. So I think one video per week so far is sustainable, but I do find that I do think and plan out those videos a lot more than these ones. These ones I can just wax lyrical for forever and a day. But with Proving Potential, I'm trying to be really concise and keep my videos to about 10 minutes so that busy people can watch them and get something out of them. what made me decide to get bangs, I get really bored. Like, I felt like I'd had the same haircut for quite a while, and I just saw that picture that I put in my vlog. If you haven't seen that vlog, I'll link it up here somewhere. And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna go with bangs again. And the funny thing was, I went through a bunch of old photos when I was doing the styling course recently to kind of look at my style evolution, and there were so many pictures from my past where I actually had bangs, so it's not actually new for me. So that was quite funny. If there are any worth sharing, oh, how embarrassing, I'll pop them up here so you can see. But yeah, it's not new for me to have had bangs, but certainly in my YouTube journey it is. _Anne Jane. Do you choose your bag around your outfit or an outfit around your bag? I used to say I would choose an outfit around my bag because I'd pick the bag that I wanted to wear and then I'd dress around that. But to be honest, I'd say it's probably around 50-50. Where I will, like today, I've just thrown on a pair of Levi's and this age blouse. So the Levi's have a ripped knee. I will probably wear them with maybe sneakers or maybe some slip-on shoes. I might throw a jacket on over the top. Maybe I might wear some boots actually. So they'll be a bit edgy. So then I'll try and kind of either have the bag as a complementary colour. So I could go for green. I could bring some wicker in, or I could go with similar colours. So literally even my baguette as a crossbody, or I could go with, you know, black to match the boots. I did a whole video about styling pop of colour bags, which kind of explains how I think about putting outfits together. So if you haven't seen that one, I'll link that above too. But I'd say it's about 50-50. Artsy was the first. How you doing? Social media is all about Fendi. That wasn't the case 2 years ago. Why? Is it marketing only? Yeah, look, I have mentioned in a few videos around the fact that, you know, if I wanted to grow my YouTube channel super quickly during COVID, I probably should have started with Louis Vuitton unboxings or Chanel unboxings, but I didn't. I started with a Fendi unboxing, and that's because I wasn't seeing a lot of it on YouTube, and that's because I suppose no one was interested, rather than that there was a gap, which was my method. And 2020 was a big Fendi year for me, but this year has definitely surpassed 2020. I don't know if it's social media or that Fendi like just had a kicker of a spring summer 22. Like, it was really going back to Fendi of the past. I also think, whether we like it or not, the series And Just Like That had people thinking about their memories from Sex and the City, and Fendi was a big part of that. So potentially the launch of And Just Like That really kicked Fendi up again. I also think, without discrediting Karl Lagerfeld and Kim Jones, the transition between those two when Karl passed away was something that people were really interested in, because Karl had been at Fendi for 56 years. What I think is really interesting though is that the woman who designed both the baguette and the peekaboo, Silvia Venturini Fendi, has been there all along, and she is the one behind these bags. So, you know, I think it's really, really interesting that there has been the consistency of Silvia, yet the transition between Karl and Kim, and that's culminated particularly in the spring summer 22, but also Fendace and, you know, and Just Like That. I think it's a combination of talent and social media and people looking for something new, which is what fashion is all about. Perstopia. Hi Candice. If all the logos and branding on your bags just disappeared and you were left with a plain bag, how would you feel about those bags? Well, that's the logos and branding. Okay, so these bags that are just in front of me, This one wouldn't be much different because it doesn't have any real visible logos and branding, so I'd feel the same about my peekaboos. If I go to the baguette without logos or branding, so I'm assuming that this buckle is a part of that and the debossed FFs would be part of that, that would be a pretty plain little bag without logos or branding, so I probably wouldn't be as much of a fan of it, to be honest, if it had neither. Candace, again, if you watch The Real Housewives of X series, who are you most like? I don't watch any of the Real Housewives series, so I can't really answer that question. Then she's got a couple of to do in advance questions. One was to draw a picture of your favourite bag. I haven't done that, I'm sorry. And write a poem about my favourite bag, which I haven't done, and I'm sorry. You make this so much work. She says these boxes aren't big enough for my questions. I'm glad. What do you think is the mentality of peeps who buy designer X and then don't use them? Look, I think there's a few reasons that people buy and don't use. The main one, obviously, is collectors. So people who are collecting, you know, certain releases, certain colours, or pieces from different brands. Then there are the people who buy things that absolutely scare the bejesus out of them, and because they're worried about damaging them or people bumping into them or spilling things on them, all forms of damage, that they won't wear them or take them out. And that, I think, is quite a sad thing, to pour so much money into an item that, you know, I guess you're expecting some return on investment in terms of your joy, to then be so frightened to take it out. I think that's really tough for people, and I wish that there was a way to help people feel more confident with that. And certainly I do talk to a lot of people in my DMs on Instagram about their concerns in spending a lot of money, particularly on the first luxury bag, and what they expect in return, and how it really, they put so much pressure on themselves. So yeah, I think there's a couple of reasons that people don't use things. Then you've got, you know, people like me who have, you know, quite a few bags, and I don't have a huge collection by any means, but I do have quite a robust collection, and there are bags that I won't use for a very long time, and that's simply because I love them. I don't want to sell them, but they're not, you know, I haven't reached for them, or I've been favouring a particular style for a bit. So yeah, I think there's a few reasons for it, for sure. What do you think about YouTubers and Instagram people showing off their fake bags but pretending they are real? Well, I don't think I watch anyone that shows fake bags and pretends that they're real. I get a lot of requests through email on my channel to receive, commission for, and be gifted fake and replica bags, and I just delete them. I don't even reply to them anymore. But I know through my stepdaughter that there are some really successful channels that people you know, show these replicas and things, and yeah, it's just not me. I've said it before, I can't even do mock crocs, so there's no way you're going to see fake bags here, and I'm not going to be watching those sorts of channels either. These are all Candace questions, but they're good questions. How do you feel about seeing yourself on YouTube? Fine, until I walk into the living room and Mr. Addiction has me on the big TV. That's always a bit weird, but fine. I'm fine with it now. Do I get a prize, the pink sequin baguette, because I ask the most questions? No, you don't, but thank you for asking all the questions, Candace. Are people trying to portray a certain life or personality by carrying and wearing designer? Yeah. Isn't that the point? Isn't that the message that you're putting out in the world? Otherwise, designers wouldn't matter at all and we'd just be buying for function. Sure, I think we're all trying to portray something or put a message out there with whatever designer or colour or style that we wear. I think that's what fashion is. So yes, I think so. How would you feel if you had to go back to carry cheaper bags full time, under $100? Well, I'd feel very sad if I had to go back to it. In saying that, you know, I would assume they would be pretty extraordinary circumstances, and carrying a designer bag would probably be a very low priority in the case that, you know, I was forced into that position. But if you're asking if I would willingly do it, absolutely not. You can only visit one store in London. Which one? Well, New Bond Street Fendi, of course, because I've got to go and pay you for hooking me up with my beautiful lilac peekaboo. Alright guys, I've been going for quite a while, so I'm going to call it quits here, and we will go into part 2 of the Q&A in the next video. Please come back and watch that one. I will post it straight after this one. But you know, like, subscribe, comment with your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you in part 2. Bye!